Okay, are we live? Are we getting this? Action. All right, good morning. My name is Eric. I run a little company called Camp Gear Center, and I wanted to do a review on the Sea to Summit cone coffee maker. Starts out kind of flat, actually very flat, about 1/2 inch. It's about 4.5 inches wide, and it stores pretty flat in your bag. When you're out camping or even hiking and you want to make coffee, you don't want to bust out, like say you're camping and you don't want to bust out the big, huge cook stove and boil up a bunch of water to just make 1 cup of coffee. So I always carry this little guy with me, and it folds out flat. It's made out of silicone, so when it pops up, makes a nice little cone filter. And what I do is, and you just put that on top as a drip maker, put it on top of your mug, put your coffee grounds in here, put in your hot water, and you're off and running. So what I like to do first is I'm going to measure out the amount of water in my coffee cup that I want to heat up, so I know how much water to put in my pot without the weeds. And then I will heat this water up while I talk about some of the features of the coffee pot. So let me just get this going. Oh, you're not going to light on me. That's alright. We have ways to make it light. Bust out my little. There we go. So, with my little cook stove, sometimes I've been using it a long time. So sometimes the piezo lighter doesn't work. So I always keep my flint and steel in my cook set, because sometimes I'm cooking with fire, and if I need to give my stove a little bit of help, I can throw a spark at it and light it up pretty easily. So I'll put links to all my gear that I'm using today down in the bottom of the video. So first one being, a lot of them happen to be, no, I guess just one, Ultimate Survival Technologies. I like their products a lot. One, they're orange, so you can always find them in your bag, and 2, they just work. So I pre-measure in my coffee cup the amount of water that I'm going to heat up for my coffee. So the Sea to Summit cone filter maker is what we're talking about today. So it's got a little stainless steel screen in the bottom here. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera so that you can see it. But what happens is you put in your coffee grounds, okay, and then you pour the water over it on top of your cup, like so, and the water filters through. So I brought some coffee grounds with me to put in there. Now normally I don't carry coffee grounds in a little plastic container like this. I keep them in a Ziploc bag, or if I'm out camping with the scout troop, I'll just use the troop coffee. And again, like I said, instead of firing up the big huge coffee pot for just 1 cup of coffee or even 2 cups of coffee, I can just use this little drip filter, and it's much more efficient and faster too. My water is just about at temperature, so I can get that going. I'll set my coffee filter down on the bag because I don't want to get a bunch of dirt and stuff at the bottom. Now, I've also not grown up enough to not do cream and sugar in my coffee, so I'm okay with that. So again, I usually keep that in a little Ziploc bag as well, or you can put it in little pouches. So I've got hot water. I'm going to turn off my stove. It's actually a pretty good boil, so it's going to be really hot coffee. It's probably a little hotter than I'd want. So then you just take your hot water and pour it into your cone filter. I don't know if you can hear it with the wind, but it is actually filtering through. Now, a couple of words on coffee grounds. If you use a pretty coarse ground of coffee, water's going to go through pretty quick, and coffee will be pretty weak. If you use a fine grind of coffee, it's going to take longer to go through, and you'll have stronger coffee. Also, it depends on how many grounds you put in there as well. So you can see that my coffee is going through, and it is going fairly slow. So I've got to actually grind my coffee at home, and it's a French press grind. So I find that to work pretty much perfectly as far as consistency with how slowly it takes or how quickly it takes, and then you get a pretty decent brew of coffee as well. So I'm going to bring this a little bit closer to the camera so you can see what's going on here. So it's just kind of going through, doing its thing. Sometimes if you have to give it a little bit of help, I use a spoon, or quite honestly, if I'm out camping, I find a stick and I can kind of stir it and kind of help get, sometimes the grounds will stick to the side after the water's gone through, so you want to get that down into the middle of the cone so that you're getting as much out of the grounds as you can. But that's pretty much all it does, and it's just going through, doing its thing. I'm going to give it another couple stirs. I do like this for a couple of reasons. Where'd my stick go? Luckily, I'm out in the woods. I got plenty of sticks. I do like this for a few reasons. One, it is nice and lightweight, and you can make just one, like I said, just one cup of coffee at a time. And it's really easy to clean. As soon as I'm done with this cup, I know what happened to my stick. I keep tossing it off. But as soon as it's done with its coffee brewing, dump that out. So you can actually pop out this screen in the bottom. There you go. Screen comes out, and you can rinse it out. You can heat up some more hot water, give this a good rinse, let it dry, and again, it's silicone, so it'll dry pretty quick, and then you're off and running. So there is coffee on the go, and it's hot and it's good. So that is the Sea2 Summit cone coffee maker. Highly recommend it. Again, I'll put a link to where you can purchase yours down below if you want. One of the things too is that when this does collapse down, and I'm not going to collapse it all the way down because it's all messy, it'll actually store, because of the size, it'll actually store inside my cook set, and that's where I keep it. So if I'm out hiking and camping, I've always got coffee ready to go, and I can make it anytime and don't have to make a big old pot of it. So please, if you like the video, give it a like down below, hit subscribe to my channel. I'm doing more and more gear reviews, even throwing in some mountain biking videos, which are a lot of fun to not only to make, but I kind of find them fun to watch too. So please give me a like and a subscribe down below, and if you have any questions or things you'd like to see me review in the future, please let me know. Thanks for watching. See ya.